Gaming, the final frontier, where tech and imagination come together in an elegant dance of ingenuity. That's me 2 years ago, predicting the future of gaming. And look at that, 2 of my predictions have already come to pass. I mean, I guess I am the gaming fortune teller I claimed to be in that video. Roll the clip! I will be known as a gaming fortune teller. Well, today in 2025, I come back with many more gaming predictions. In fact, 4 major ones that I want to discuss in this video at length. And all 4 of these, I do believe, will happen within the next 5 years at the very least. Maybe even sooner than that. So without further ado, let's begin. My first prediction is actually the most saucy of all of them, which is that GTA 6 will still cost $70 when it releases. But instead of the major theory that it'll go for $80, they're going to push extremely hard for digital deluxe this time. I have kind of evidence to prove this in the past. When Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, they pushed extremely hard on the deluxe and digital, the more expensive special edition, right? There was an $80 version of Red Dead Redemption 2, and there was a $100 edition of Red Dead Redemption 2, which I think they're going to try to do that, but way higher this time. Because of the hype of GTA 6, I think they are going to go for a $70 price, especially with the current state of the pricing index of the gaming industry, where people are afraid to go higher than 70. And you may think, oh, well, Nintendo's going 80. Well, Microsoft tried to go 80, but here's the thing. If you've noticed in the past few weeks, not only did Microsoft back away from the $80 price, Nintendo's newest games they have just announced the next year, including Mario Tennis, the new Mario Tennis, the new Zelda Age of Calamity, or whatever the Dynasty Warriors one is, they're all $70. Almost every game Nintendo announced at the last Nintendo Direct was at most $70, which is still too much, but I'm noticing a trend that they're realizing that $80 is too damn much for the consumer. It's not feasible right now in this current economic climate. So I feel like they're going to try to push away from that even with GTA 6, because they realize that this is going to be the biggest game of all time, and if they price out consumers, only the diehards are going to buy it, and they want everyone with GTA 6. So I do believe GTA 6 will cost $70. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I really do believe they're going to go hard on they're going to go really, really hard on a $70 price, because they realize that they want everyone. They don't want to price out anyone. They want to make it still a competitive price, but they don't want to make it higher than what the consumer is willing to pay. And we've seen time and time again this past year that consumers are not willing to pay $80 for a AAA game. They're just not. So that is one major prediction I have that I really do stand behind, that Rockstar is not going to back down from the $70 price. My next prediction is similarly about the parent company of Rockstar, which is that I believe within the next 5 years, Take-Two Interactive is going to be acquired by another company. So if we look at the trends in the gaming industry right now, which is Activision being bought by Microsoft, or EA being bought by the Saudis, right? There's really only one big studio left, because Ubisoft also got a joint filing company with Tencent. So those are the 3 big players that were in the industry. There's only one left, which is Take-Two. And I believe they're going to be consolidated as well, just not right away. See, the thing about Take-Two is, because GTA 6 is on the way, I think they're not going to be acquired for a very long time, but I think within the next 5 years, it is extremely likely that we see a acquisition of Take-Two Interactive. They have NBA 2K, they have Borderlands, they have Mafia, they have every Rockstar game in their portfolio. They have a lot to offer. They don't have a lot of brands, but the brands they have are really strong. And on top of that, they make a lot of fucking money. They make a ridiculous amount of money. They just print money. They're one of the only game companies that is public still, which is kind of sad to think about, but it is true. They're one of the only big AAA players that is still public in the business. So I think people are going to take a really hard look at Take-Two and try to acquire them. Now, does that mean I want them to be acquired? Hell no. I do not want Take-Two Interactive to be acquired, but I know the writing is on the wall. I see that the industry is still, even in this economic climate, still hungry for acquisition and private sales of company through equity. And I see it clear as day that I have a feeling Take-Two is going to be acquired, which it would really suck, because I don't want this industry to become a cabal of 3 giant companies, which is really sad, because that's what it's starting to feel like. And Take-Two is really the only major AAA player left that has not been acquired. So I hope to God I am wrong about this, but I don't think I am. My next prediction is actually tying into one of the ones I had last time, which did become correct, which was that in the last video I made 2 years ago on the future of gaming, I discussed how I believed Xbox Game Pass would get rid of day one releases, which actually happened a few weeks ago when they raised the price of Xbox Game Pass to $30 fucking a month, which is still obscene. They got rid of day one releases for Game Pass for the tier below Game Pass Ultimate, which is really incredible. They announced that games will release on that service after 365 days onto the tier below Ultimate. I believe that is actually a win on my prediction list, because that tells me that they really are trying to get rid of day one releases. And I believe, this is going to tie into what I'm about to discuss in a moment, that I believe Game Pass Ultimate will be a service that will not exist within the next 5 years. I believe they're going to shut it down. I really do believe this. Ever since I saw that makes me think it is more likely that Game Pass Ultimate is going to be shut down within the next 5 years, because what they're doing right now with it is they're making it like a cable package, right? They're making it so they're bundling every service you would want with it, but only there's so few consumers that have an Xbox, and the consumers that do are going to get priced out eventually. And I don't believe every consumer who owns an Xbox is going to stay subscribed to this, especially when they keep raising the price. This isn't like Netflix, where it's like, it's something. Well, let me explain what I mean by this, because in the last video I discussed how cloud gaming was the future, which I do believe it is in certain aspects. But the thing is, right now the mass adoption of cloud gaming isn't there with consumers. We just know it isn't. I do believe soon enough in the future, almost everyone's going to be cloud gaming within the next 10 years. But we're not there yet. The infrastructure is still not there, and we know it's not there. So they're not getting new consumers. That's the whole problem with Game Pass, right? So they have to jack the price. But eventually, the consumers that are still there, because they're not acquiring new consumers, are going to get priced out. So right now we're in a period where, because they're going to get priced out, we're just kind of a wait and see approach to if Game Pass Ultimate will succeed or it'll fail. And I believe personally that it's not going to last. It's not going to last this at all. I believe within the next 5 years, Game Pass Ultimate is going to shut down, and they're going to go to a PS Plus Extra and PS Plus Premium idea for the Xbox Game Pass program, where it's going to be games will release when they do on the service. You'll have to buy full-priced release games, and that's that. That's all you get. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. I think they're really going to go hard on that in the future. That is a major prediction of mine. Now, my last major gaming prediction of this video is a really hot one, because I think it's extremely possible in 2026 that this happens. I think Switch 2 sales are going to drop hard next year. Now, I love my Switch 2. I love using it. I love playing on it. I love fucking around with it. But I think we all know that this price of $450, which is already too high for the unit, is not going to last due to the global instability with the economy right now. And we all know that they're going to raise the price on it. There's just no question. I'm not even using that as a prediction, because I just know it's going to happen. We all know that is the reality of the situation of why. The reason it's at the price it is right now is because they're in a customer acquisition phase with the Nintendo Switch too. And they need to get as many people on it before they can start jacking the price, and then they can also keep the game revenue high, because they need software sales to make this thing successful. So they're in a customer acquisition phase right now. But I truly believe that the Switch 2, once that price increase happens, the sales are going to drop by 40%. I think Nintendo has officially priced out the consumers. Even this year, we've heard reports that accessories and stuff unrelated to the console have not sold at all for this unit. Like, people just don't have the disposable income to buy a bunch of accessories, a bunch of games, a bunch of cases, all the crap you usually buy with a new portable console. People just don't have the income to do it. So they're just buying the console, they're buying Mario Kart, and that's it. That's all they can afford, which is just how it is. So, if they can barely afford the console as is and barely make it work, how do you think in 2026, when families want to buy this for their kids' Christmas or their kids' birthday, how do you think that's going to translate for the consumer next year? It's not. I really do believe that Switch 2 sales are in a bubble right now that is going to burst in 2026. I think the major Nintendo fan is buying it this year, and next year, once the general consumer wants to buy one and the price goes up, there is going to be no demand for this thing. which is quite concerning. We're seeing a major trend in the business where people just don't want to buy games. They're sticking to free-to-play experiences. They're sticking to what they're used to, and they're not going out of their comfort zone because they don't have the money to go out of their comfort zone. So when we're talking about a piece of hardware that costs almost $500 or $500 with a game, they're not going to buy a bunch of experiences that they can't guarantee are going to be decent fun for the whole family. They just want what works. So I'm quite concerned about that, to be frank with you all, that the Switch 2 is just going to fucking plummet next year. Mark my words on that. But these are my gaming predictions for the next 5 years. We'll see if any of them come true. We'll see if my lottery ticket, and we'll see if my 4-pick parlay comes to pass. But thank you all for listening. Please subscribe to the channel today. We're really doing well. This is a pretty poggers moment for YouTube on my channel. So anyway, take care, and gamers, rise up.